All right, this is going to be interesting. I like the radio. I just don't like AM. But I figured, you know what? It's 2015. Let's see what's going on the AM waves these days. Ha! So, usually there's like nothing at the end. Continuation of the show this week with Ron and Morgan now, and to me, it was really, special. I won't stay on a station for long because, well, they play nothing but crap. And mostly talking. I occasionally hear some music on the AM waves.
The Bouquet of Love bracelet gift set is just $195.
Jeez.
The Jared exclusive sterling
That
silver
one
with
went loud.
cubic zirconia sparkling love knot charm is
It's
only
Jared!
When your SUV became stuck in heavy snow with no cell phone signal, they
wants us to hit the cancer in the uterus and the adjacent areas where the cancer has traveled, despite these so-called alternatives. I won't call them.
Well, if that was about cancer, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. I just heard the word uterus.
1956, Elvis's first single for RCA Victor went to #1 in the U.S.
to help the people in Israel with their basic needs. The problems in Israel of poverty, of security, or of insecurity are ones...
phone.
Return life companies. Rates have dropped
parts of the Republican Party, but together we're a much stronger party.
Colorado chapter president George Kramer says even though the state Republican Party has invited his group to be at their booth, the controversy raises a key issue that will carry through to the presidential election.
We are an important part of the...
WCBS News Time is 10:04. A suspect in a robbery last week shot and killed by police Saturday after getting into
well, that's on the East Coast because it's 10:04 here.
Get more on this from WCBS reporter Monica Miller.
A suspect wanted for robbing a woman in Morningside Heights last Thursday tried to run away from two detectives who came to arrest the 24-year-old man at his sixth-floor apartment.
The suspect fled through a window.
That got weaker. All right.
Peters also coming up hour number 2 as we get into the NHL playoffs and some good ones going on. I'll keep you updated. What is going on with Nashville and Chicago, at least the Sager will, and I'll chime in on that. Vegas runner in hour number 3. What's going out there in Vegas? And a new bet now, a big long shot in the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight. I'm going to tell you about that, which everybody is putting down money on that. Eric Pincus in the Power Hour of the show from the LA Times, of course,
Grabbed her by the buttocks and then fled. We do a photo.
Your house, your retirement.
Around doing nothing is far more boring and unfulfilling. Romney discussed the satisfaction of work, getting married, having children, and public service. One of Providence's most popular cultural attractions is soon to launch its new season, Waterfire, announcing it'll hold 13 lightings in the 2015 schedule.
Goes deep. And the Red Sox suffer next
On the three-way tie with the Yankees and Tampa Bay, where the lead in the AL East is David Lowe. Hits it out. The last thing you expected from the light-hitting outfielder who was in there for as a pinch runner for defensive purposes, his 10th Major League home run. 5-4 Baltimore, Mutt.
Like us, they want justice, but they also, like us, respect the process and want peace in the city.
Do you have any indications of who might be responsible? In the case of Ferguson, the officials there surrounding town pointed to outsiders, people who came in from other areas to incite the violence that ensued there. Is there any indication that you think that might be the case here, that these were not Baltimore but other?
We're taking a look at that right now.
POWs of chiefly Poland. Lee Trimble is the author with Jeremy Dronfield, and Lee is here to tell a different question. What is the harm from that in the marketplace?
Michael, Amit Singhal, Senior Vice President of Google Search, said the company strongly disagrees with the need to issue an antitrust complaint. He said on shopping, there's a ton of competition, such as Amazon and eBay. And in point of fact, Amazon attracted 25% of consumers doing product research. Google and eBay had 12%. What about Google's defense?
I think Google's defense is not so unreasonable in an American atmosphere. We learned a lot of lessons from the Microsoft case over a decade ago, which set the groundwork for this discussion about what is a monopoly position, and particularly whether it would erode in the structure of a particular market. In the EU, it's a different story. The difference between dominance, which is what the EU measures, and abuse of monopoly position, and the U.S. does not look at so much the consumer or competitor demand as exists in the EU.
The FTC investigated Google and found unanimously that it hadn't committed any kind of violation of law. So European regulators are tougher on antitrust?
Different rather than tougher. Their response is not surprising if you compare the two. I have to confess, I used to work at the Federal Trade Commission, so I am aware of the diligence of the FTC. It isn't that. It's the fact that what happens in the EU is much more directed to preserving what we might look at as a highly competitive marketplace as they see one. As against the U.S., we tend to preserve a competitive marketplace, but look at some of our failures. The airline industry, a very good example.
Yeah. Time to get Philly here. And so they were calling fish too, and they.
Well, there's some music for the first time. Not my kind of music, though. That's way before my time, it seems like. Sounds like it. Then again, I don't know. So, either way, it's not my kind of music.
Baseball to Jerome Williams, who is 1-1 with a .371 earned run average. The right-hander has been up and down here in the early season. He'll be opposed by veteran right-hander Trevor Cahill, former Arizona.
It's in that jukebox, filling up the room.
Wow.
It's like pouring whiskey on an open wound. The only thing that helps my heart.
Interesting.
It's really the lifeblood of sports is the star player that makes you say, wow.
Además, podemos declarar
It's really odd. Yeah.
cute. Like that, they
I was doing that on purpose. I was going back and forth.
that he didn't think of the consequences that if he got caught.
But in a moment of blindness, we said only two of these are evil. One is good. And we call it a democracy.
There is a ground ball to the second baseman. Navarro couldn't make the play. Everybody's safe. They ruled that a hit. Mike Napoli to the plate. Ground ball back to the pitcher.
The Football Today podcast continues in just a moment. This is ESPN Radio.
Oh, nice.
ESPN Radio. Bringing you directly to the biggest of
Joseph. Well, here's the problem. There's no parallel between the Egyptian name Seb and the Hebrew name Joseph.
Save us, O God of our salvation, and gather us together, and deliver us from the heathen.
And that's it. Well, that was a sweep of the AM frequency in 2015. Seems like there's still a lot going on. All right. See you later.